specific app. So yeah, we're just gonna give it a minute. Oh my God, Mohammed, I fucking love your profile picture. Like I said, everyone, I'm just gonna give this a few to like populate up. Until then, we'll view this as like a little meditation of sorts. Like I would play some background music, but I don't think I can. And you definitely don't want to hear me hum. Also, feel free, there's a discussion, which I think is really cool. So if you guys want to pop into the discussion, you can. And obviously, we're here to fucking spill some tea about what's coming and this whole new era. But if you have questions, I can answer them if you text them in, or I'll be taking speaker requests. You can like raise your hand, and after we kind of go through everything, I can pull some people up. But yeah, just gonna wait a few minutes. Maybe I'll start seriously talking about things in like 5-ish minutes. But hey, how is everyone feeling? I'm gonna mute myself and read some of these comments. Man, I'm excited for the new too. Hi, Kiara, Gustavo, Elizabeth, Matt, Grant. Man, if you guys are in this room, I guess I should reward you for being first into the room. So I'm going to go through all of this soon, but if you go to veriteofficial.com right now, you'll be able to watch the video and see the tea. And there is, we're here for technically the launch of the whole next era of Verite. And that's going to be through a portal in a crew neck that we are dropping now. And we did a pre-order. So the intel is if you buy it first, you're going to get it first, because we have about 50 that we pre-ordered, and then the rest will be kind of shipped out later. Let's fucking go. Great. I'm going to wait a few more minutes to continue to let this populate. But again, if you want the intel, you can go to the website early and pull the trigger if you want to, and then I'll explain way more about the drop and what's coming, because this is really, really just the very, very beginning. Oh, someone said they pre-ordered the lyric book. The lyric books aren't even pre-ordered. They already exist. So if you ordered the lyric book, it'll get shipped to you super quick. And they're all signed, which is really nice. Someone just read the sweatshirt, which makes me really happy. The sweatshirt is definitely has some Easter eggs in it, into what the album is going to be. Also, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes before I just like fully dive into this. I want to give people time to populate. But again, I'm not being intentionally cryptic. I just recognize that there's a learning curve for Spotify Live. So we're trying to be kind and all-encompassing. But again, I wanted to kind of give you guys, like top listeners on Spotify, the first glimpse. And again, having this sweatshirt is going to get you premiere access to the whole album for like the next few months. We're going to be beaming things directly to the sweatshirt, so you'll get to hear everything first. You'll get to see everything first. We'll get to create some games around it. And when you get your sweatshirt, you're going to know the album title, which I've been a dick and fucking with people about what the album title actually is. Oh, yay! Okay, I'm gonna answer this question and then we'll get going. Is the new album coming out this fall season or next year? I would say that we're doing a slow burn of a rollout, and that I'll have an exact date for you relatively soon. But definitely, you're getting a good amount of new music, new visuals this year. I've spent a lot of time living and building this world, and I want it to last, right? I feel like I don't want to get excited and blow it all up front. So, yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Am I going to be in DC anytime soon? No. Wait, yes. I'm going to be right outside of DC touring with Fletcher, actually. And I believe that is in October, but you can check. Those dates are on Spotify or also exist. Okay. So I'm going to. I feel like it's an appropriate time. We have like 100 people in here, which honestly is really great because this is, again, Spotify Live is like, I think that this is so cool. And they have this mechanism on obviously other platforms, but I was a really early embracer of streaming and I don't know. I just think that being able to know who's actually physically my top listeners and being able to pinpoint you guys direct and exactly brings me a lot of joy, makes me really happy. Someone said they're debating on going to the tour with Fletcher in October. What are you debating? Let's fucking go. Okay. So let us begin. Welcome to the next era of Verite. Hold on one second. Anyway, I'm going to stop typing now. So the Verite crew neck is an experiment in really giving intimate access into the whole next era of Verite. And as we know, album campaigns, they're long, they're drawn out. And I feel like there's so many social media platforms, too many social media platforms. And I wanted to give you guys something that you could wear that would be practical. And my philosophy on merch moving forward is I want to do limited, more exclusive runs of higher quality merch because you guys have all bought tour merch. It always falls apart and I feel like it always feels flimsy. And I want something that you're going to be able to wear for years. And the whole concept of this is really the idea of bringing you something that is super accessible and brand new. And so, as you can tell, the whole next era is vengeance themed, which I feel like is no real mystery. It's really no mystery. I feel like in COVID and in the pandemic, I really went, at least for the people who watched all of my insane Instagram lives where I was cooking, Knife Verite appeared, which is yeah. So Gustavo just said chaotic. Yeah, it was pure fucking chaos. Actually, the sweatshirt does reveal when the album comes out. So if you want to take a look, you can tell when the album is coming out. But again, I wanted to give a more in-depth experience because I really worked hard to build this narrative around the record. And so what you're going to be able to do is you're going to get your sweatshirt. The album title is going to be revealed on the sweatshirt that we currently have blurred out. Again, we're going with like higher quality merch. And then it's super easy. If you have any new smartphone, you're going to be able to unlock your phone. There's going to be instructions, don't worry. You're going to be able to unlock your phone and tap your phone to your wrist. And essentially, there's just going to be Easter eggs and surprises that exist in that portal. So if you're one of the first, say 50 people who wind up getting it in the next few weeks, because like I said, the first 50 people, we're going to be able to fulfill those orders way quicker because we did a little pre-order on our end. You're going to be able to maybe hear a clip of the next song before everyone else, or we have an album trailer that'll definitely be to you before everyone else. I started writing a lot of poetry around this record, and so you're going to get the really in-depth version and tour of the music, the visuals, and the story. And then there's ways that we can gamify it, which is really cool. And so I was talking about doing a fan meetup in New York, and I still want to do that. And so hopefully I can just show you guys this all in person too. Or if you come tap my wrist, maybe I'll give you something to kind of chew on before the first single comes out. So yeah, again, there's a lot of information here, and this is new, but again, the purpose of this is like, I feel like you guys know me well enough. I'm an independent artist, and I've really committed to experimenting with what is next to provide, I don't know, the best and most cutting edge experience for you guys. And so I'm really excited about this. And yeah, it's really just the beginning. Like, I'm not fucking around. Honestly, Henry just said a meet and greet with your wrist, but that's the thing is like literally if you're wearing this show, I have a vision that, and I guess I shouldn't share this vision because it's not fully realized, but I'll share it anyway. Just don't hold me to it because I'm still building all this shit. But like you go to a show and you tap the wrist of your sweatshirt at the merch booth, and the light goes green and you get access to like a secret merch item or etc. Again, hasn't been built yet, but we're just talking about, you know what I mean? The capabilities of utilizing all this technology, merging it with the art so that we can do new, cool, innovative things. And so there's someone who said, I wish I could afford this. So just know that eventually in all of this, I'm going to try and do some raffles. I want to make sure that everyone can be involved, but also if not, joining the Discord is also a great way to get access to things that has no financial barrier. Again, I am really committed to giving tiers of value and experience, but not cutting anyone out, because there were many times in my life where I could not afford $100 sweatshirt. And again, I recognize that. And so if you join the Discord, that is a way for you to get a lot of leaks, because if anyone, there's a bunch of Discord people here. So just know that that's another way that has zero financial barriers. How long is it going to be up for purchase? Okay, so the sweatshirt is going to be up for purchase all year, right? And the idea is the sooner you get it, the more premiere content you're going to get, because we're going to be rolling things out all year. So you're going to be able to get just increased access, and you're going to get more Easter eggs. But if you still want the sweatshirt and you're ordering it at the end of this year, you're still going to get some of the perks right before the record comes out, etc. So if you're like, I don't want that now, or I can't get it now, don't worry, it's going to be up. And then we're going to fulfill orders in batches. So really to not create any excess waste, because I'm very conscious. I want to have a green merch strategy where we're not just making merch to make merch and throw it in the dump, but we're only selling we're only making what we sell. And that's great for you guys, because once we stop the sale, your sweatshirt just became rare. And there's a really cool feature. If you go all the way, you'll get a digital certificate of authentication. So you'll be able to essentially prove that you own the sweatshirt, which I think is really cool. So again, there's lots here. I'm going to scroll through and look at questions. But if you asked a question and I haven't answered it, now is a good time to just re-ask it because I'm actively looking. We are a big Discord family. But let me know what you want to know because I don't give a fuck and I might just leak things. Can you have a mini show in Los Angeles? I hope so. I can't promise anything, but I do have these visions of how I can get to Los Angeles before the headline tour around the release of the record. So I cannot make any promises, but just know conceptually it's on my radar. Is the album finished? That's such a good question and a source of much stress. No, the album's not done, but I can tell you that a really, really good chunk of it is done. And I just got mix revisions back for the next 3 songs. And I think I have no notes, which means that like 95% of the album is going to be done, but I have some time and I'm really like the final piece of the puzzle. I'm taking a really, I'm being really intentional. I just don't want to put something in there because I want it finished. But I also have a long vision for this era that doesn't end with the album. And so there's something to giving you something short and sweet, and then, you know, having the pleasure not end, if that makes any sense. Will you be on tour with Fletcher for the November dates? No, I end with Fletcher on the 31st in New York. How can you sit on the title? Cheryl asked. Because I'm an asshole and it's fun. No, usually I leak everything, but I think this record is so narrative inherently. I think I really got super vulnerable in terms of the content of the songwriting that I had to build an entire world around it to like inhabit all of these feelings. But that being said, it's all coming like so soon. Like I can tell you that the first single will be out in September, which is really mind-blowing to me because I've been working on this for so long. Do I have any artists I listen to when writing? Yes and no. I have a running playlist and I feel like I so have not been listening to music. And I think that's good because it's really easy when you listen to music to accidentally interpolate and accidentally like let that impact the writing. And I don't want to make things that other people are making, especially like everything is so, I don't know, hyper saturated and we're all scrolling on TikTok, or I'm scrolling on TikTok. It's a toxic trait. Not dancing, just scrolling. But I think that I try and really just zone out. But I do watch a lot of bad reality television. So that's what I supplement my music listening with. The crewneck has references to the murder storyline from recent songs. Is that involved in the new album? I'm going to tie this in with how would you describe the vibe of the new era? The vibe is fucking vengeance, man. I think that like I am mad and I don't give a fuck anymore. And maybe it's just like how the circumstances of the world mixed with, you know, me really having time to sit and process my own shit, my own trauma, etc., and really just like merge these things into a world that can like inhabit all of that. And so I really feel like Younger Women in a lot of ways is like the like a prequel song to this next era. And I feel like Younger Women is definitely a fixed point. And I think one of the best songs that like I've written and kind of put into the world. And so, yeah, it's definitely a crux. So I feel like this is definitely an extension of that, but its own world. Okay, when did I start making music? Did I ever consider any other career paths? I started when I was young. Like I was like 8 years old playing open mics with my dad. Um, I didn't understand. I had like zero music industry connection. And so I really had zero context for how to translate that into a career, like zero, zero, zero context. And so for me, I think that it took me a long time to figure out the through line. And so I didn't really have any other career aspirations. I was always hyper focused on making music work. It just took me a long time. So the only other career I've had was like an Applebee's waitress. You know, I'm going to bother you about vinyl. I'm sorry if there's no vinyl. I just apologize in advance. Do you have any favorite poets? You know, I haven't read and I'm not really super well versed in poetry in general, although I started writing some again, which is like a completely different medium and thought process. But my favorite author, and it's funny, I'm actually not very well read, but I've read almost every book by Milan Kundera, who's like my absolute favorite author, and something about it just like resonates with me and cuts through the ADD that prohibits me from like making it through any book. But I feel like he writes in like a really beautiful and poetic way. Are there any songs on that new album that give a Need Nothing vibe? Yes, I think so. I really, really, really do think so. Have you heard of Banks? Fuck yeah, I've heard of Banks. Banks is amazing. We stand Banks in this house. Will there be any collabs or only yourself on the record? The record is all me. And so I wrote everything. There's like one person I co-wrote one song with. And then everything else was just me producing and working with other producers. And so this record also, from like a sonic standpoint, it's like, it feels like mine. You know what I mean? It is so tangibly like my hands were in the dirt, literally and figuratively making this. Do I have any main influences on the new album or artists that you really admire right now? Man, I feel like maybe it's just because Banks was just mentioned. I really love how Banks has really unique melodies that are very distinctively hers. And I think that as an artist, I strive to do the same. Again, it's like I haven't been listening to so much music because I'm trying to not have other people's melodies and structures influence mine. And like the goal is to always have like a really signature melodic style that can be like a cohesive element between everything. So I really do feel like, that I forgot the point of that. Oh yeah, I really admire Banks. When will you be dropping the pre-save link? Next week. Pre-save link next week. I got you. Which do you typically write first, lyrics or music? Man, it all just comes together somehow. Like, I feel like I sit down and I mumble something and I hum something, and I really feel like they grow in tandem with each other, and the melody becomes more clear as the lyrics become more clear, and vice versa. Emma, you've never seen me live. You have to come. But listen, if you don't live near the Fletcher dates this fall, I'm for sure doing a headline tour around this record. So if you're like, I don't want to drive 12 hours or can't, man, it's really okay. Don't you worry. Need more bangers like Bye Now. Thank you, man. I think I have a banger like Bye Now. Also, I feel like Bye Now is going to be on the record. Just saying. Bye Now deserves a spot. Do I have a sizing recommendation on the sweatshirt? And if it doesn't fit, we can exchange. Okay, my sizing recommendation, I prefer a slightly oversized fit, and I'm 5'4". And I like a medium. I could fit in a small. And usually I'm a small. And so I feel like when in doubt, if you go up a size, the cut of the sweatshirt, which they're really nice sweatshirts, they're like recycled cotton with like a little bit of fleece in them. They're not like the cheap tour merch sweatshirts that you can get like in general. I really wanted to make something that could last. And then look on my store for refund policies. I don't know them offhand. I don't handle that. But again, are you going to do more dates and locations in Canada? I hope so. Definitely next year. Definitely not this year. The website design for the crew neck is so dope. Thank you. Man, oh man, is there anything that helps me create when I'm burnt out and unmotivated, or is it something I need to wait out? Combination. I think that sometimes I think it's a balance. I think it is sometimes I push through. And I think it's a balance of knowing when the moments to push through are and knowing when the moments to stop are, because it's like an extremely, if you push too hard, I've burnt myself out to where like I'm physically incapable of writing and creating and working. But again, sometimes you need the discipline to just like keep doing it. You should cover its corn. I should cover its corn. Damn. Man, I'll play Among Us after this if anyone wants to go on Discord. Just saying. This really does. Ready for Vengeance era, and this does call for more Among Us. Yeah, Among Us is for sure. It has been an inspiration for the entire. You guys, Among Us is the inspiration for the entire record. Okay, I'm just scrolling. In the past, you've sent out postcards and the Gone newspaper. Will you be doing that in this new era? So I don't think I'm going to be mailing anything out, but don't count it out. Sometimes I just do things on a whim, but I guess I'm viewing this sweatshirt as that mechanism, right? So instead of mailing things out, you're going to get this sweatshirt and I'm going to be able to just like airdrop it to the chip in the sweatshirt. Yay, someone bought a sweatshirt. Let's do the meetup at Applebee's. No, you can't drag me into another Applebee's. How does the tapping your phone to the wrist aspect of the sweatshirt work? Okay, I'm going to get mildly techie with you for just 1 second. So there's this thing called an NFC chip. It's near field communication. It's the same technology that Apple Pay uses, right? When you tap your card or when you tap your phone to like get on the subway. So it's one of those things. It's actually powered by the device you're tapping it with. So if it's just in your closet, like the chip isn't activated, I swear I'm not tracking you. I don't care where you are. But essentially it's powered by like literally your phone and the electricity it is, don't quote me on the electricity, it's emitting, and then it's able to just send a communication with what we've programmed the chip to do, which is essentially take you to a site, show you the content, and then show you your sweatshirt online where you can claim a certificate of authentication. So that's the general flow. I'm going to be talking about this a lot coming up. So if you have questions, you can hit me up, etc. Also, I want to open it up. So no one's requested to speak, but if someone wants to come up and speak and like actually physically ask a question, you're more than welcome. Just raise your little hand. I don't know why I said little. That's so fucking creepy. That's so creepy. Banks is a goddess. Yes. Does Spotify help you locate your top listeners? Yes. So technically, if you got this email, it's because you're a top listener, which is honestly really fucking cool. What's been my favorite album to write? This one by far. It's been brutal in some senses, but I feel the most autonomy and control that I have. Oh, I'm bringing Pat up. Pat, you want to say? Well, I'll wait for you to say hi, and I'm going to keep talking until then. But honestly, it's really nice to see you. Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, we both got muted.
Pat, how are you?
I'm good. I'm in North Carolina right now.
Oh, the beach?
Outer Banks, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was trying not to dox you because you did mention where.
Oh, well, it's pretty big.
So how are you feeling?
It's good. It's good. My brother got a house down here, so it's a nice little family vacation.
That's nice. I need a vacation. I'm going to the beach next week. But Pat, okay, you have an audience. Ask the question that everyone wants to ask. Do you have a question? Do you have a thought? Do you have a desire to know something that is not known currently, other than the name of the album? Which
Yeah. How many tracks is it?
Damn. Okay, so it's still in progress. I think we're gonna have 10 tracks, and then I think that I'm really keen on a deluxe version, kind of rolling out right after the record comes out for songs that maybe don't fit the exact narrative, but can continue kind of like feeding you the energy and the vibe of the record. So it's like you get one really holistic narrative, and then you get a bunch of fucking bangers after.
Sweet. How about, is there a new tattoo for the new album?
Damn, we can decide this together. We can decide this together now. I mean, we don't have to do it now, but I think
we don't know what the album's called.
We don't know what the album is called. I think that we'll revisit this once we have the title and once you guys have like listened to the entire record. Matt just said a cute little knife, which honestly, that's genius. That can be the pre-album tattoo, and then we can come up with a post-album tattoo after everyone's.
That sounds great.
I'm for sure going to get a knife tattooed on me now. I'll show you guys the results. It's going to happen.
We all get matching knives.
Yes. I'm honestly fucking into it. Emma, hi. How are you? You want to say hi, introduce yourself? Do you have any questions, thoughts, concerns?
I'm doing all right. I actually just got back from a tattoo appointment. So
what'd you get?
Oh, I got a sunflower with a dragonfly on it. Kind of like symbolic of like my relationship with my mom. So
damn, I love that. That's really nice. Me and my mom got matching tattoos. The flowers that are on my arm, she got like the smaller version because mine's massive. So I love symbolic mom tattoos.
Yeah, she doesn't, I mean, she knew I got another tattoo, but she's not thrilled about it, but it's fine.
It's fine. She'll appreciate it.
We'll see. I don't know. I have a few questions. One is like unrelated to anything. But it was kind of I was asking you during your live yesterday about what percentage of the songs are going to make me cry and everybody else cry, because that's just what I need at this point.
I got you. Like, I think that, again, it's really interesting, this idea of like creating a narrative record, because not that my other records weren't narrative in the sense that like they covered a lot of like emotional topics, but there was no through line. And there's such a clear through line here that's like represented both in the songs and in the visuals. So my goal is to have each moment be really jarring. So it's like, it's a bit like you're being sucked into different scenes. And so some of those scenes, yeah, you're going to fucking cry. And
Love
then
that.
different scenes, you're going to rage. And other scenes, you're just going to like dance, etc. And so I'm trying to give everybody, there's a moment for everyone.
Okay. So is it kind of like a conceptual album in a way?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay,
It's,
cool.
I definitely like, it didn't start off that way, but about halfway through, I was like, okay, I understand where this is going. And then the rest of the songs were kind of written to the theme, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I'm so disappointed that I'm not going to be able to see you on the Fletcher tour. So
Next year, I'll be back.